We talk about this because it is actually true that alcohol is a good stress reliever. It's quite possible that you feel your stress going away the minute you open a bottle of wine before you've even drunk any of that wine. And in fact, it will still take 10 or so minutes before that wine hits your bloodstream. But already psychologically, and particularly for those of us that are psychologically addicted, that process starts with the act of getting a bottle of wine out the cupboard.
Yeah. So really, it's just the ritual of sitting down and opening something, and that
Yeah.
relaxes you rather than the actual
Well,
liquid.
but then the liquid does relax you
It does.
in a short term. But then, like the joy button that it keeps pressing, it then tips the other way, and of course it can cause more stress because of the poor decisions you made and the hangover and your energy and so on. And nothing will quite relax you quite as quickly as a drink of alcohol in that short, immediate term. So what you need to do is to find new ways to relax and accept the discomfort that they will take a bit longer. And it's partly why when we talked about doing your quit kit, that we didn't only talk about the quick things that you can, that will suddenly, that can, you can quickly respond to your urge by putting something in your mouth quite often. But those 20-minute things that will take you away from your day, that can create another ritual, that can replace that ritual of going into the cupboard or the fridge and taking out the bottle of wine or beer. We've got some suggestions here, but we can talk about more as well. And there's lots of people putting ideas in the tabs in the side of this webinar, and we'll share some of those with you. But eating food and drinking water is a quick one, because often the reason why we're stressed is because we've got an emotional response to something. We may be tired or hungry. Water both it hydrates you and makes you feel less tired anyway, and as does food. I always used to drink wine instead of water and drink wine instead of eating food, and maybe if I'd done those two things first, drunk less wine, I would have been less stressed. So that's one way. But you do quite a lot of mindfulness, you see. Do you want to tell us a bit about that? Because it's an all newfangled thing.
Yeah, it's only 3,000 years old.
Yeah, newfangled thing.
Newfangled thing.
Yeah, the word mindfulness is a newfangled thing.
Yeah, mindfulness is new, but the idea is an old one. And well, I mean, we could spend hours talking about this, but I guess in this context, it's really about being aware of your thoughts and trying to accept them as they are and not fight with them. And that way you can actually win over any negative emotions.
I always thought mindfulness was about totally clearing your mind, but that's not what it's about.
That's impossible to do. I mean, you can't do it yourself anyway.
But it does allow you to, it does give you time and space to reflect and think about the day, and think about what you're feeling, and maybe think about some solutions, or push the things that you're thinking away. No?
Just let them be, but they will go away by themselves.
Okay, you can see I'm not as practiced as you see at this, but I actually took it up after 2 years of giving up drinking, and I do find it helps me deal with my emotional feelings, really. Sometimes I have my best ideas as well.
And it's a sort of, in habits speak, they talk about keystone habits, which are habits that are like a springboard to creating new habits. And mindfulness is definitely one that if you sort of start practicing mindfulness, that helps you with all kinds of other things in your life as well.
You can
by itself, it's completely pointless. What's the point of sitting quietly and observing your thoughts? It leads to other good things.
And you can even do a bit of mindfulness in just 3 minutes, and there's lots of free places. You can look at YouTube and other places to get some free downloads. Exercise is also a good one. I always still feel this sounds like a punishment. I haven't quite found my sport, but we all know it does it really deep down. Instead of procrastinating and thinking that's something you need to do another month, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to suddenly become an Olympic swimmer within the month, but even just going, well, actually, if instead of opening a bottle of wine, I'll go for a 10-minute walk around the block or a 20-minute walk around the block, that will really help.
Not just being outside.
Yeah. And also you can use the time to plan. One way to de-stress yourself throughout a week is to plan your week ahead. So sometimes I'll sit and go through, well, actually, I'm feeling a bit narky right now. But one thing that will make me feel more comforted, really, is to know that I've planned some things ahead so that I won't feel narky on the days ahead.
music.
Yeah.
It's a funny one. Some people like calming music, and some people like really loud and heavy music. So
I'm not sure who
whatever
you're talking
whatever works for
about.
you. Well, I like both personally.
Dance About the Lounge, again, Spotify playlist or something similar, is on the survival kit, and it's not a bad idea. The act of making it, thinking about what you will like, what will do for what mood, and putting it on is really good. And again, YouTube videos of your favourite comedian or a short bit from everyone's edited everything into short bits, the best bits of some of your
If it's ever been on
sitcoms.
TV anywhere in the world, it's probably on YouTube now.
Legal?
No.
It's not legal.
No.
If you've got issues that are really stressing you, then it does help to write them down. You don't have to send them to anyone, particularly not your boss, but it's okay because you're sober, so you're less likely to do it. But there is a reason why when you're drunk, you tend to write things to people that are either annoying you or that provoke strong emotions in you, and that's because writing stuff down does help. Um, And all of these are things that are around self-care. They are things that are about saying it's okay to be nice to yourself. I think we're often punish ourselves quite a lot for, we're stressed and therefore, we need to do more. And actually, sometimes if you're stressed, you need to do less and look after yourself. Get out into nature and do something a little bit more different.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else to add to that one? Anything else you see that de-stresses you?
I guess just the fact that you said in the beginning that alcohol will de-stress you in the short term, but these are all things that really don't have any side effects unless you hurt yourself running. But
yeah, you might want to do that. And don't get run over when you go for a walk.
In the long term, they're better than drink.
They have so many other benefits, whereas every mouthful of wine has a negative impact, I guess, generally, as a whole. Most of us don't stop at one sip of wine.